Chairman. I want to thank you for holding this markup. While these nominees serve necessary roles, I'm still very disappointed and perplexed that we haven't yet had a hearing or a markup on the nominee to be the FDA Commissioner. Janet Woodcock's doing a fantastic job as acting commissioner, and I hope she stays as long as she wants. The FDA needs a full-time commissioner. This is a dereliction of duty by the administration, and they need to do better. I also want to talk about something else that should be considered in a legislative markup in this room, reconciliation instructions, that this committee report out legislation that spends $750 billion over the next decade. You can understand why we're confused on this side of the aisle amid all the secrecy and the backroom deals that are being cut. When parents around the country rise up in concern about dangerous and shoddy educational curriculums being sneaked into the classroom, about hiding sexual assaults from the parents because it doesn't fit a convenient narrative, and when the Attorney General threatens to use the Patriot Act against parents that are upset about these developments, I'd probably want to hide the ball on that agenda too. But when liberal activists harass Democratic senators and follow her into the bathroom to demand she submit and become compliant, and when they paddle upriver to disturb a senator and his neighbors, we're all told that's just part of the process. So when a conservative agenda is pursued, you use tools that call them terrorists. But when a liberal agenda is pursued, everything's on the table as part of the process. I guess that explains why the traditional process, working things out in the light of day in a hearing and a markup with colleagues across the aisle, is so much less appealing. It's easier to have proxy harass someone in the bathroom than it is to take a tough vote in the committee room. But today I'm proud to remind my colleagues that on this committee, one with instructions to spend $750 billion, we have some of the most able members of the Republican caucus who know how to get results. Susan Collins has been in the Senate for 25 years. She's had an unending supply of bipartisan laws signed by presidents and more bills on the way because she knows how to get things done. Susan's a proven ally in securing funds for child care, community college, and access to health care. Rand Paul's a medical doctor, a noted contrarian, but his questioning and forceful advocacy for individual liberties often leads to improved legislation. Dr. Cassidy is a proven leader in mental health and education and for children with disabilities. He's demonstrated a willingness to think outside the box and pursue novel approaches to legislation. Lisa Murkowski is a fierce defender of Alaska and reminds us all regularly that what works in the lower 48 doesn't translate well to her home state. She knows the cost of child care and college are sky high and brings decades of experience at working across the aisle to find lasting solutions. Mike Braun's a proven leader in healthcare, businessman who actually lowered healthcare for his employees. He knows that solutions don't come from government, but from innovation and experience. Mitt Romney brings a deep knowledge in private sector management and public service. As one of two former governors on this committee, he knows how state budgets work. He knows the importance of getting things right the first time because cleaning up someone else's mistakes is tough and it's expensive. Tim Scott's a fierce defender of parents and children and has fought his whole career to help families get across for a high-quality education. He knows that supporting parents' control over their children's education is the moral thing to do. Roger Marshall, another medical doctor who knows a fair bit about how to make health care more affordable, and he wants to fix the broken CDC and improve our ability to respond to the next pandemic. Tommy Tuberville. Tommy's new to the Senate. We call him Coach. He's also new to elected politics. But Coach has a deep knowledge of how to build a team, the power of education, and knows that working together only makes our country stronger. Republicans waived our rules to allow two Kansans to serve on the same committee, so Jerry Moran could serve with us. He knows the importance of looking out for rural communities and allowing flexibility in programs to best serve counties that are almost as big as some of the smaller states. These are all serious legislators with broad expertise and knowledge. They bring different worldviews and perspectives that add tremendous value to the bills before this committee, if only given the chance. Shutting them out of the process, denying them the opportunity to question witnesses and to offer amendments, doesn't bring a country together, doesn't create a platform for long-term solution. It further weakens the bonds that are so important to this institution. I hope the course will change. Maybe then we can get back to the reason the voters sent us here, to work together to improve their lives on ideas that we all agree on, not just growing government for the sake of growing government. I'll remind my friends, as Ronald Reagan pointed out, the socialism only works in two places: heaven where they don't need it, and hell where they already have it. I thank the chair.